Well, it's match number 3 of Chelsea's preseason, and Juventus, our latest opponent in Hong Kong, as Chelsea's preseason is in its tail end. The season is about 2 weeks away before we kick off against Fulham. It'll be Xabi Alonso against Alvaro Arbeloa on that occasion. Tonight is Xabi Alonso against Luciano Spalletti, Juventus' new manager at the helm. Well, it's no real surprises with their squad. They are going with the back three. They're not going full clip. They've got Di Gregorio in goal with Lloyd Kelly, Gatti, and Pierre Kalulu as the right back. Cambiaso, Luis Locatelli, and Celik as the 4 in midfield. Jeremy Boga, ex-Chelsea, of course, and Miretti on the right-hand side with Milik leading the line. 32 years of age, the Polish centre-forward for Luciano Spalletti. For Chelsea, it's 4-2-3-1. Rob Sanchez fit enough to be in goal today. At right back, we're going to see Palestra, Tosin and Fofana are the 2 centre-halves. That fills me with a bit of worry because Chelsea are not going to be able to play out the back as well as we could when we've had the likes of Levi Colville or even Maxence Lacroix. Josh Achimpong's on the bench. At left back is Jarell Hato. In midfield, Moises Caicedo features for the first time in pre-season. He's in midfield alongside Nicolo Giuzzulli, who's really impressed me in midfield today. He's got that tall frame about him. He can move the ball about. Clever player. I'm really rooting for him. Maybe one of those players who might stay back, who has stayed back, not gone to the under 18 or even under 21. So it shows you that Xabi Alonso clearly rates him. Giovanni Kenda on the right-hand side joins pre-season for the first time. Gittins has started off brightly with a goal and assist in back-to-back games. It is Joao Pedro in the number 10 with Danny Welbeck leading the line. Danny Welbeck, of course, raised a lot of eyebrows, but he's a signing that I truly back, man. Yes, 35 years of age, but his experience, he is a Premier League champion, and I really do like the way he plays, man, and he scores some big goals. Let's see, because we cannot have the drop-off between Liam Delap and Joao Pedro. We need something in between that, and maybe, just maybe, Danny Welbeck is the guy, because you're not going to get someone who's going to start ahead of Joao Pedro. So you need someone who's going to be comfortable, who can also nurture some of the strikers around. Luciano Spalletti, first look at Juventus under him. Hey, what's up in the stream, man? On and off? How are you, brother? Hope you're good. It's Chelsea pre-season time. I'm always excited. Even if it's pre-season, I like to see us play, man. We hope to see some great football, and we will be ready with Juventus kicking things off here in Hong Kong. It's good to hear that, bro. Well, waiting for kickoff. Again, that disappointment against Spurs has to be put in the back burner. Yes, we lost that game, but luckily we come out slightly unscathed. Yes, a couple of injuries are there, but we are off and running. No Cole Palmer, no Levi Colville. Nico Jackson's on the bench. We're seeing quite a few players for the first time. In defense, it does not fill me with too much confidence. Mumbai is good, man. Mumbai is really good. Palestra. Again, on the right-hand side, we're looking at Xabi Alonso making some big moves in that department, because it looks like Palestra is going to be our starting right back. We're getting Pep Chavaria from Rayo Vallecano. 27, 28 years of age. He's a direct fullback. Almost like if Chelsea want to play with a back three and a wing back, a defensive left back, can go forward and supplement the attack, but wouldn't call a world beater. We saw him I did see him in the Conference League final against Crystal Palace. He did look decent going on that left-hand side, but Xabi Alonso clearly getting some of his preferences in terms of profile, maybe not the big names. But Chelsea have spent big on Palestra. Maxence Lacroix is someone that I'm very excited to see integrated into Chelsea's defense. Him and Levi Colville, that partnership has to work for Chelsea, man. We need a solid centre-half partnership. We've been waiting for it since the time of Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Andres Christensen with Aspilicueta and all that. We waited a long time. This better work. We're not going to see it today. Possibly, hopefully, all signs point to them starting against Fulham, but we wait and see whether or not Lacroix will be added to that. Hey, what's up, Cheddar? Juve indeed. This is the first time I'm watching Juve. This is the first time Chelsea are playing Juventus since 2021 is what I want to say. That was when Thomas Tuchel was the manager. It was 4-0 at the Bridge, and Chelsea lost at the Alliance. I remember Lukaku missed a sitter. There was a 1-0 victory for Juventus, but it's been a long time. Juventus much changed since then. Here's Pierre Kalulu, former AC Milan defender, finds Milik. That's a good long ball, but the pole is offside. Enough, I'm watching on Fancode, bro. They've got some really good. I don't want to do like free marketing for them, but they're good stuff, man. Like their passes, if you want to watch your preseason games, very reasonable. The Chelsea one. Like if I want to subscribe the Chelsea one, that's a bit of a scam. That's a bit of a rip. So Fancode till then, solid option. Oh, lovely first touch. Moises Caicedo, the skipper for Chelsea, bites into the challenge. The Juventus are going to be with the back three. Locatelli and Douglas Luiz is a formidable centre midfield partnership. What the hell is wrong with Douglas Luiz, man? I see him sometimes at Aston Villa, then he's at Juventus. He was at Villa, Nottingham Forest, even Villa just 6 months ago. Back to Juventus. He needs a bit of stability, I feel. Good midfielder. He just keeps bouncing around clubs. Giovanni Kenda is one player that I'm excited to see on that right-hand side. It's going to be between him and Estevao if Chelsea are going to play with a traditional right winger for the season. Kenda, Chelsea's 40 million investment from Lisbon. Here's Kenda, who just tries to link up with Joao Pedro. Pedro playing a reserved role here today. Fofana is strong. It looks like Chelsea's centre-half, we have like 10 centre-halves on the books. It's going to be whittled down to like 4 or 5. Fofana and Tosin look like they might be making the cut. Levi Colwill, Maxence Lacroix being the 2 first-choice options, I believe. And of course, Josh Achimpong being our academy centre-half. Really hope Josh Achimpong just tightens up because I see him making few errors. Yes, we need to back him, and he's got a very unique profile about him. 6'5", he can carry the ball. That performance against Liverpool at the Bridge early on in the season is something that just cannot wipe off your memory, man. So you just hope that he gets his fundamentals right. The structure is good. Wait and see. Time will tell. Here's Moises Caicedo. His break cut shot, I was hoping that he wouldn't be touching the pitch for Chelsea any time before September, but 5th of August, Moy is back. Enzo Fernandez, of course, looks like he will be ending up staying, begrudgingly from his point of view, but he's just going to have to get on with it. I believe that once he gets back for Chelsea, he will end up delivering the goods the way he does. The problem with Enzo Fernandez is expectations. We expect him to do everything, right? He's become this box crasher, very good. I wouldn't say elite production numbers, but he's having really good numbers in terms of goals and the big goals that he scores, man. Even at the international stage, we've seen it. Oh, that's a decent pass on the right-hand side. We'll get back to that situation. Here's Miretti. He's having a run at Tosin, Chelsea's weakest defender. Oh, Tosin does well, but ball falls kindly. Tosin clears. First time Juventus get past the Chelsea defense. Pitch looks pretty wide here, so Jarell Hato and Marco Palestra, while trying to go forward, Palestra will be that touchline winger type defender for us. Hato, if Chelsea want to go into a back three, can always step in as left-sided centre half. Decent cross into the box. Moy heads it away. Juventus with a strike from distance. It's a decent strike. I think that's Locatelli. Just a pop from distance, and why not? Juventus skipper going above and beyond and having their Hey, what's up, Manny? Hey, you're right. My scoreboard's missing. Damn it. This is some rookie stuff, man. Hold on. Let me get to it. Ooh, Joao Pedro gets a nasty challenge on him. The last thing I think he just kicks the turf. I don't care what the result is, but there's no way I can afford any sort of injuries for any Chelsea players. Hey, what's up, Kenneth? From Uganda. Much love, brother. Will Mudryk play against Juventus? I'm not sure. I mean, we might give him some, morale boosting minutes because he's seen no competitive football in ages. He's that winger for us that if it goes right for us, if, that's a massive if, right? We'll get back to that in a bit. Chelsea's attack here is Palestra, whose ambi-pedal can play with both feet, goes on the outside. Palestra playing against Juventus for... He's seen them plenty of times when he was at Bologna. Fofana. And he'll get to the scoreboard in a bit. Chelsea are threatening, or they're looking to threaten. That's a pretty meek way to end the attack. Let me just quickly fix the scoreboard. Just hang in there, guys. I really do appreciate you tuning in on a weekday Chelsea pre-season. Team's got some exciting parts to it. Love to see it gel. Gittins on one side, Kenda on the other, Danny Welbeck and Joao Pedro as our two strikers, or Joao as the number 10. Midfield is solid enough. Don't have to worry in that department. Defense does worry me, especially if it gets stretched and Juventus play those long balls into the channels, especially the Tosin channel. Fofana's quick enough. He'll manage, but with Tosin, I worry. So that's why you might see Xabi Alonso just tucking in almost like a left-hand side centre half rather than playing as left back and bombing forward. So interesting dynamics. Let me just fix the scoreboard really quickly, guys. A lot of chatter. That's a handball. Yeah, Manny, I think Palmer, he's picked up an injury. Again, no need to risk whatsoever, man, because, yeah, why would we risk Palmer? Just put him on the pitch. Again, the pitch doesn't look, it's a bit patchy from our point of view. So I'm like, we don't really need to risk it. Send him back to Cobham if needed. Just have him fit for Fulham. That's my only requirement from pre-season, man. Get the big boys fit. Like Enzo Fernandez, you're going to have to wait for him. Jazuli, confident pass outside of the boot to Jamie Gittins. Goes on the inside, shoot. Just tries to poke that forward. Juventus, Chelsea shut him down. Might be slightly fortunate. I've liked what Nicole Jazuli has been in midfield, man. He's been superb. I like the confidence. Play that outside of the boot. Just show that, you belong in this level. And clearly Xabi Alonso believes in him. So you've seen a lot of the under-21s being sent back to the Cobham to train with their age category. And Jazuli has made the cut. The Anelka Drogba jersey. Yeah, man. I love this one, man. It was the season after we won the league and Torres was signed. Yes, Palestra. Yeah, Colville and Palmer, let them lightly train. Jackson will be interesting. Here's Jarell Hato. And he just pushed that pass forward. Yeah, we're going to see minutes, man. Everybody's got to get minutes. Moises Caicedo should not be touching more than 45 minutes, that's for sure. Because, yeah, why would we risk Palmer? Here's Joao Pedro. Outside of the boot pass, Jazuli. Jarell Hato. Chelsea moving the ball better. Everybody getting involved. Palestra goes on the inside. Moises Caicedo. Decent rotations here from Chelsea. Giovanni Kenda now. Might go on the outside. He's on his left foot. Floats in a decent delivery at the flick-on header by Danny Welbeck is just why Chelsea's best opportunity. Joao Pedro and Danny Welbeck both attacking the box. Giovanni Kenda on that right-hand side, making things happen. Hey, Manny, I don't give a shit about his finishing in training, man. Just give me the goals when you're on the pitch. His value is way more than the goals, man. Nico Jackson. But it looks like he's going to be going because Chelsea, you're not going to have too many games this season. Whether or not he goes to Aston Villa on loan or Chelsea end up selling him permanently, you could certainly use him with a bit of Unai Emery training after next season. I'm not selling the Jackson stocks. Here's Kenda with the strike. Oh, just cuts across it. He's been bright. Picked up a little bit of an injury before the Sydney tour. Chelsea making things happen. Welbeck running off the shoulder of the defender, just creating the space for Giovanni Kenda. Seen this before by Xabi Alonso against Spurs, where we literally get 3 or 4 Chelsea players right on the edge of their box for them to go long. It creates a lot of space in midfield, so Chelsea need ball winners in there. It can't just be Moises Caicedo and then an ocean of space around him. It's either the centre halves push up and make sure that he is not by himself, or we need another player alongside him. Presence. That's the problem that Xabi Alonso will have to solve in terms of squad building. Here's Moises Caicedo has been everywhere in midfield so far. Damn, the Zone is showing these matches for free. Manny, it's okay, man. I don't mind. Fancode's been good to me. I'll keep giving them some business. Here's Palestra. That's a decent pass. Welbeck. It's João Pedro running. That's a foul, ref? Surely. Welbeck has looked bright. It's looked like him and João Pedro are just free. Just see the I stay, you go, or vice versa. João Pedro who's making the run. Lloyd Kelly, man, in defense. That is one of the most curious transfers I've seen in the last 5 years. Lloyd Kelly was a bench player for Newcastle United, going to Juventus and being first choice there. Tell me a more stranger career move than that. Manny Welbeck might be slow, but in the box is where he's supposed to be working his magic. He scored, what, 12 Premier League goals last season? That's nothing to sneeze at. Here's Moises Caicedo. Nicole Jazuli. Jarell Hato. Cross comes into the box. But just because we got focal points, it doesn't mean we just keep crossing it. Chelsea trying to win the ball back, and we do. Nicely done. Jazuli is doing all the right things here, man. Nice. He's there recovering. He's got a presence about him. It's not Ruben Loftus-Cheek-like physique, but he's got that lankiness and that ball-carrying ability about him, and he can get about the pitch, so useful. Palestra, clever pass again, this time to Kenda. He's had a couple of those. Palestra. Kenda finds Moises Caicedo. Palestra in acres of space. Instead, he shifts it to Jarell Hato. Tosin, Chelsea dominating possession and territory. Fofana. Kenda, touch around the corner. And nearly works out in the 1-2. Cleared away, but not very convincingly. Lloyd Kelly does clear it. Moy with another interception. Chelsea all over Juventus, but not really troubling Di Gregorio in goal. Kenda's been decent, man. First real minutes that he's getting in pre-season. We didn't see him against Western Sydney, nor against Spurs. Back against here, and he's getting the start too, so Estivao on the bench. Get a few minutes, share it, maybe 45 minutes each should be enough. Don't want to see him to get too much, but I think he's played wing-back last season after Amorim went to Manchester United. Palestra on his left foot. But yeah, he's played a bit of left wing in Portugal. Chelsea trying him on right. I thought if Chelsea were going with the back three that we thought that Alonso might be going, especially with Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers as the 2 number 10s, I thought Kenda would be our left wing-back option, but that's clearly not the case because Chelsea have been going with the back 4 throughout pre-season, so Kenda's use will be as that right winger, so it's like almost competition with Estivao Willian. Looks like Pedro Neto's on his way. I hope that one goes through. And if Manchester City and Enzo Maresca get that over the line, thank you very much. If it works for him there, fair enough. But it was never going to work at Chelsea, man. No more. For Chelsea to get rid of Pedro Neto and Garnacho in the same window, we give them a lot of shit and criticism, but that is a good move. Yes, it's your fault that they were at the club in the first place. That's 90 million. But if you get anything out of that in terms of a return, fair play. Because it's not worked on the pitch. If it works at City, fair play. Here's Jazuli, just forced into the pass. Looks like Moises Caicedo is that number 6, screening the back 4, allowing Nicole Jazuli to be further forward. You'd keep Neto, Manny? You're anti-football, dude. There is no way. You can throw any stats at me. There's just no way I could take another season of Pedro Neto. Again, he'll thrive. Again, Wolves, perfect. Space in to run. Good player there. But if a team wants to keep possession and, oh my goodness, when his head is down and he tries to put balls into the box, less of that. Chelsea need to move on from him and it's time. Here's Gittins. That's a foul, ref. No? Good challenge, though. On that left-hand side. Again, it's Jazuli, man. This dude is everywhere. Fair fucking playing, dude. Very nice. Continue this, and we'll see him at least on the bench. Because, look, we've got problems in midfield. We've got numbers, sure. We've got, as it stands, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, and Dario Esugo, right? Andre Santos sold. But with Romeo Lavia, we can't really trust him. If he's fit, it's a bonus. But can we take a punt going into midfield for next season with him? I mean, Enzo and Moy have been used. I've said this time and that's a foul, ref. It's happening right in front of you. How the hell is he playing on, man? Here's Pierre Kalulu. Do work it out the right hand side. So Nicole Jazuli, if keeps continuing to play like this, gain a bit of Xabi Alonso's trust. Why not, man? He can easily muscle like Romeo Lavia out of the way just by staying fit, right? And Esugo is very similar to Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez, like I say, if he stays and he's fit, he's going to partner Moises Caicedo by the looks of it because we got Morgan Rogers now. Here's Miretti. Decent chance here. Ooh, how's that stayed out? It's not a shot in the end. Celic gets a touch on it, the Turkish right wing back. Very advanced from him. Nice switch of play on the right-hand side. Chelsea getting caught here. Juventus using the width. Jarell Hato caught infield, having to go wide to try and cover the space. Can do a job off the bench. Do it at City, dude. Go do that off at City. Is anybody going to hold bench there? Semenyo and Doku are their first choice wingers. Foden, Shirky can all play there. Go hold bench there. No more Neto, Manny. No. I'm fair, dude. Same thing with Garnacho. There's a time. At some point, you just have to draw the line and say, enough. No more chances. There's still a few players at the club. You say, yep, you're running on way past final chance. But I'm glad that some of those moves are happening. We cannot be carrying more and more scrubs, dude. Here's Moy. Brilliant by him. Finds Kenda. Come on, have a go at him. Kenda's got the run of Palestra. Oh, finds him nicely. It's Palestra with the cutback. Outstanding defending at the near post by Lloyd Kelly. Marco Palestra on that right-hand side, gunning it. Nice play. Our right-hand side has looked really good. See, getting slightly isolated because Hato's not making those runs, almost trying to protect Tosanen. But on that right-hand side, Palestra is having a go. Kenda's committing defenders. First corner of the match. Giovanni Kenda will take this one. Yeah, Palestra's runs on the wing, man. He looks like a proper athlete as well. He's tall, he's got a real presence, and he's quick. Kenda's corner is poor, though. Terrible. He has a second bite of the cherry, though, but under pressure. Release the ball. Oh, he tries to trick his way, but throw in for Chelsea. Now you can see why Chelsea went with his profile with Xabi Alonso's first signing since joining. That game against Spurs, the result was a bit sour in the end. I'm not going to lie, but I saw a lot of good things, man. The way that we control how we look. Yes, I get it. We played most of the second half down to 10, but I think our structure defensively, don't concede too many chances. That's what I want to see, man. Yes, going forward, could have created more. Cole Palmer for the first time. Joao Pedro didn't really get things going, but Kinski made a couple of outrageous saves. One of Joao Pedro and, of course, one of Esteval Willian. Jeremy Boga. The Jeremy Boga story, oh, great run by this one. What a run this is from the former Cobham boy, but his pass is intercepted by Nicole Jazuli. Oh, the right idea, man. He tries to fizz that pass to Joao Pedro. Might have been just offside, but Jazuli, in terms of interception, I'm sure Xabi Alonso is loving this. Absolutely loving this. He's covered a lot of ground alongside Moises Caicedo. Moy won't be nowhere near his 100%, so it's his first preseason game. Hydration break has been called here. Actually, in preseason, don't mind that at all. Take your time. Just make sure there's just no injuries. Just no injuries. That's the only objective. Get match fit. Danny Welbeck, couple of moments. Ken does look bright, and you can see Xabi Alonso immediately getting in his ear. And so is Luciano Spalletti with Jeremy Boga. Jeremy Boga's career could have been a whole lot different, man. Look, this season was the 2017-18 one. Conte had just won the league. We got Costa out the door. First game against Burnley, I believe. Gary Cahill gets sent off. And Jeremy Boga, who got a start that shocked everybody, was the man to be hooked in the very, 20 minutes in? Something like that. Very early in the first half. And then we never saw him again for Chelsea. Like, that was the most weirdest thing ever. If he played like 45 minutes, had a decent game, his trajectory could have changed. I'm not saying it would have, but that was one thing that sticks in my mind when I see Jeremy Boga. He went to Sassuolo in the end, and now it's at Juventus, so fair play to him. He's 29 right now. Fair play for him to build his career in Italy, so nice. Fun on the floor. They'll assess him. He looks like he's still there. Xabi Alonso had a word with his wingers. I want to see a bit more of Gittins on that left-hand side. Chelsea are focusing more of their attacks down the right because we got the overlapping run of Marco Palestra. But so far, 25 minutes on the clock, I would say Nicole Jazuli for Chelsea has been top. Really, really good. He's looked... There's Douglas Santos, Locatelli, Caicedo and Jazuli in midfield, and Jazuli so far is top dog in that department, so fair play to him. Juve do have Kenan Yildiz on the bench. Not sure whether or not Conceição is there as well. Jonathan David, the Canadian centre forward, we might see him in the second half instead of Milik. I think Milik played under Spalletti when they were at Napoli together. Might be wrong in that department, but Milik at that time was banging in goals for fun, and Juventus ended up spending big on him. Well, Chelsea's pre-season tour coming to an end. From Sydney to Hong Kong, where we've got AC Milan after this one. Spalletti defensively can be pleased. He's soaked up a lot of the pressure, made sure that Chelsea have not really put in Di Gregorio under a lot of pressure. Back underway after the hydration break. And Moises Caicedo should not be seeing the second half. 45 minutes for him should be enough. Lock it down. Good workout. Either one of Isugo or Lavia, it's fine. I would like to see Isugo more. Decent flick on by Joao. Welbeck. Moises Caicedo. Jazuli showing very good composure, man. Hato does the same. Gittins under pressure. Good pressing by Juventus. And Juventus had a difficult season last season. Talking about players that might feature in the second half for Chelsea. Lavia, Neto, Delap, Jackson. Need to see everybody. It's almost like Alonso is like, I'll get one final look at you guys. I mean, the club's probably already made their decision, right? But if you impress in the next couple of days in training as well, might put in a good word for you and keep you in the team. Speaking of Fulham, who are Chelsea's first opponents in the Premier League, Arbeloa is splashing the cash. They signed Gonzalo Garcia from Real Madrid. What's that, 60 million quid? That is a huge outlay and a great show of faith by the Fulham ownership. I think it's Tony Khan, right? Not Tony Khan. That's the son. I don't remember his pop's name. They do. I can't remember his name, but I can remember his face really well. But yeah, Fulham splashing the cash after Marco Silva went to Benfica. That managerial merry-go-round was funny, right? Marco Silva from Fulham goes to Benfica. Jose Mourinho from Benfica goes to Real Madrid, and Arbeloa from Real Madrid goes to Fulham. So that completed the trio nicely. I'm sure George Mendes was part of that negotiation. Decent ball floated in towards Joao Pedro. Chelsea trying to occupy the two centre halves of Juventus. They beat the press, but that's a strong challenge by Jarell Hato. Referee, fair play to him, is letting everything go. Jamie Gittins twinkle toes. He gets past a couple of challenges. Here's Gittins. Ball in towards the far stick. It is overhit. Asking Kenda to recover. The Portuguese does that. Chelsea having decent moments. Kenda. Caicedo's cross in. Decent ball in. Chelsea are just trying to whip in crosses into the box, and they've got players committed. Yeah, Manny, I saw that Bruno Guimaraes to Arsenal. Here we go. And it's a proper signing for Arsenal, man. Oh my goodness me. It raises their levels like so high in midfield. If they get Vinicius Jr., that's a big if, right? And I'm sure within the day or two it might be sorted out whether or not he extends with Real Madrid. But Guimaraes is one serious signing. If they get Vinicius Jr. over the line, it's scary times. Because I was speaking to a friend yesterday. This is the time for Arsenal that they can actually go back to back is bare minimum. Their new managers, new processes, all in play now. Arsenal's a set one. And if they got Guimaraes in midfield, he has to come off, or even Declan Rice has to. They've got someone like Zubomendi, who they've spent 50, 60 million pounds on him as a replacement. Arsenal are building a proper squad here, man. They're a few attackers away from just being like a proper machine. They can grind out results there. Back four, Raya, back-to-back Golden Gloves. There's a 3 in a row, could be even 3. The defense is in lock. Yes, Saliba is missing. There might be a defender short, but I think with Calafiori, Hincapié, Ben White, and Gabriel, they can manage in centre half. Even Urian Timber, who is injured but can be drafted in. And then you look at that midfield. It's strong. It's powerful. They've got Mikel Merino, who is a wild card who can play anywhere. Now, if that Tzolis guy, or Tzolis, however you pronounce it, the Greek winger, if he bangs at left wing, that's another thing, because they're going to miss Leandro Trossard for his clutchness, his ability to score the big goals when Arsenal really need it. Martinelli is a bit unsettled, so that left wing position for them, someone like Bradley Barcola, Vinicius Jr., those kind of level raisers, but looks like Barcola and Ibrahim Mbaye. Now, if Liverpool manage to get both over the line from Paris Saint-Germain, it significantly improves their attack, man. Ibrahim Mbaye, he's seen very little game time at Paris Saint-Germain, but whenever I've seen him play, he is a proper player, man. He scored against France in the World Cup. I remember that because Kylian Mbappe a minute later slapped one top bins, one of the best goals of the World Cup. Chelsea moving forward nicely. Outside of the boot pass, doesn't fall to Gittins. I'd like to see Chelsea test Di Gregorio once at least before the halftime whistle. Douglas Luiz gets fouled. Jazuli on the scene again. Yeah, Kenda's looking good on the right-hand side, man. I like that he's forming that understanding with Marco Palestra. Chelsea are pretty stacked at right back because we got Palestra, Reece James, and Malo Gusto. Now, Gusto might end up moving, I'm not sure. But as it stands, those are our options. Now, Reece James at right back, unfortunately, isn't reliable, right? So if Chelsea are playing him, he can. If you're playing in a back three, right-sided centre half, in midfield alongside Caicedo, maybe. But as a right back, we just should not be taking that risk at all. Unbelievable player at right back, but it's just you just feel like it's just a matter of time before the knee or the hamstring just can't take it. So limit is running. He's got unbelievable passing. He's strong. He's physical. He's got insane IQ. Chelsea long term have to just protect Reece James and make sure that he's not bombing up and down the touchline. Play in the midfield area. Play in our box. Fair enough. Gusto maybe at left back too, but it looks like we're getting Pep Chavaria from Rayo Vallecano. So it looks like left back is sorted with Jarell Hato. We got even Valentino Bacco, the Argentinian player. We've yet to see him in pre-season because he was with Argentina. Didn't see much minutes, but he needs a bit of a break after playing for Strasbourg. Chelsea's squad looking a bit bloated considering we buy a buttload of players. Kenda shoot! Oh, just cuts across it. Sat up nicely. Joao Pedro, the man who's making things happen, but it's Giovanni Kenda on the right-hand side. Drifting into the central pockets. He's looked good. No surprise with Joao Pedro making things happen. He commits almost 3 players around him. Seeing some good stuff, Manny. Yep. Positive. Palestra on the right-hand side. Goes on the outside. Brilliant stuff. Corner for Chelsea. Chelsea's right-hand side is really the driving force. Leicester's put in a really good shift. Yeah, looks like a proper athlete, man. And he's ambipedal. I saw him do that elastico in the first game against Western Sydney with his left foot. That's a flip-flap. Like, that's an outrageous skill with your weaker foot. It just shows you that he's very much capable of using both feet. So if he does it chop in on his left, can cross it. Okay, Kenda needs to be off corners. Both of them have been shocking. Chelsea do recover the ball, but yep, you should not be on set pieces, son. Chelsea needs someone better in that department. Maybe Gittins take over. Here's Caicedo. Invites Jarell Hato forward. Juventus haven't really troubled Rob Sanchez in goal. Mike Penders, might see him in the second half. Yeah, Kenda needs to be off corners. It's got to be Gittins. He might get one more. Maybe third time lucky, but come on. Beat your first man at least. Joao Pedro trying to link up there, but it does fall kindly to Danny Welbeck. Here's Caicedo. Tries to just squeeze that through. Chelsea getting caught in midfield and Juventus play through the press nicely. Here's Milik. Strong challenge. Wesley Fofana. Oof. That's nicely done. From right back, he goes almost into left-sided centre midfield to intercept. That thing with Fofana, man, I mean, he's at the scene of a lot of crimes. And I'm not just talking about his speeding with his car. I mean, the fines that Fofana has accumulated on his license is borderline criminal, but that's for another day. But balls in the box, he does get caught very often, but his recovery pace and his aggressiveness when he defends is really valuable. But yes, he's injury prone, but last season he did manage to stay fit. So you can understand why he's Chelsea's part of the 4 or 5 defenders that we have got. He's got a decent blend with Levi Colwill next to him, and he can play right side centre half too. So again, I can see why Chelsea are not in a hurry to bin him. Plus, you've spent like 70 million on him. There's not going to be any resale value. So Chelsea are going to have to take the heat on that one. So might as well use him and see if he can extract a bit of the good old Wesley Fofana. Here's Jeremy Boga. Let's see what Juventus are all about in the final third. I want to see Yildiz in the second half. Kenan Yildiz, disappointment in the World Cup. Turkey really did disappoint, getting knocked out that early. Thought with Kenan Yildiz, they've got pretty decent side. Arda Güler as well, not enough. In the end, crashing out early. Decent pass onto the left-hand side. Juventus trying to commit bodies forward. Chelsea have plenty back in defense. Here's Boga, gets past Palestra, puts in a decent cross. Oh, Sanchez, he gets caught out. This could be a chance for Juventus. Good job, Gizzoli, man. Supreme stuff. This guy is moving me. Oh, he loses out, but fair play to him, man. He's strong. He wins the ball in midfield and carries it. Good. He's got balls about him, too. Fair play, man. Xabi Alonso's got to be loving that. Again, cannot underestimate a ball winner in midfield, especially if you want to play high press. That's why Moises Caicedo is just so unique, man. Ball winner extraordinaire, but also has every pass in the locker. Sanchez showing Xabi what he's all about. Well, we don't know. I mean, Sanchez has got the leg up in terms of who's going to be first choice, but Mike Penders, he's another player. Like, if he hits for us, it's a massive ceiling. He's the closest profile to Thibaut Courtois. I mean, from Genk, 6'6", 6'7", can play with his feet. We saw him at Strasbourg, where his position was almost like a centre back, as Liam Rossini tried to play like 3 centre backs in build up, which is 2 centre halves and Penders. So he's another player. If it works, Chelsea's goalkeeping crisis could be over. Again, big if, a lot of hopes, a lot of if, buts and maybes, but again, you can understand with the profile. Now it's all about whether or not they come together. Ref, handball. Douglas Luiz. He knows that there's not much he can say about that one. Spalletti is furious. Again, first objective, only objective in the first half was make sure we test Di Gregorio. We did that on a couple of occasions against Kinski against Spurs. Yet to see the Italian face a bit of heat. Can Chelsea get a shot away? Tried a lot of crosses in the box. Kenda's off set pieces. Moyes like, yeah, you're going to have to move away. Don't really assist Moises Caicedo with set pieces, but he's on this free kick. Captain's armband and all. Come on, good ball in, Moy. Chelsea have 5 players in the box, 2 hovering outside. Kenda holding the width, all that to play it short. Here's Gizzoli. Gittins. Hato, Chelsea going backwards, having a free kick. Interesting. Here's Moy again. Oh, what is that? That's a poor pass from Moises Caicedo. That's something we're going to pretend that we did not see and erase from our memories. What was that? Put the ball in, man. We've got 5 players in the box. Have a go. Moises Caicedo with a curious pass to begin with. And then something even worse. Try and kickstart the attack. Xabi Alonso sits back down in disgust. Nearly 5 minutes left of first half action. The other end, defensively, Chelsea have looked solid. Tosin and Fofana not troubled at all. Space opening up in midfield. He's on the right-hand side. See, Juventus trying to just hold width and then attract a lot of the players towards the central areas. Here's Douglas Luiz onto the left-hand side. Trying to exercise a bit of patience. Juventus have not showed too much cutting edge themselves. Milik starved of any sort of service. Here's Lloyd Kelly. Gatti. Locatelli. Outside of the boot pass. It's clever. The first touch is decent. Palestra on the cover. Palestra is ticking a lot of boxes here in the first half. Yes, going forward, all that's good. But remember, you're a right back defensively. The level is Reece James, mind you. Here's Boga. Goes on the outside of Moises Caicedo. Puts in a decent ball in. Sanchez, assured handling on that occasion. First time that Juventus just get past down that byline. Good play there by Jeremy Boga. Always rooting for Cobham players wherever they play. Chelsea have had a factory of players, man, going through Cobham. We claim all of them. Here's Lloyd Kelly. Locatelli. Again, I'd asked you guys to tell me a more crazier transfer than Lloyd Kelly from Newcastle bench to Juventus starting centre half. Tell me something on the top of your mind. Like, you don't have to dig deep, but a transfer that just made you go, this is curious to say the least. Oh, it might fall here for Gittins. Decent feet. Last-ditch defending saves them. Bit of fortune attached to it, but Chelsea on the attack. Here's Gittins against Kalulu. Oh, Gittins need to show a bit more there. Come on, you're at the byline. Show a bit more. There's a weak pass in the end. Again, when you're a winger, you're 1v1 against a defender who's almost a centre-half, Pierre Kalulu, playing in those wide areas. Take him on, man. Here's Lloyd Kelly. Speaking of Newcastle, my goodness me, they've been gutted like a fish in terms of their squad. They're going to have such a hard time replacing these players as well. Here's Jeremy Boga, could pull the trigger from distance. Boga with the strike, pushed away by Sanchez. It's a chance here for Juventus. It's an excellent block by Jazuli. Oh, sensational. Was that Jarell Hato? Yes, it was Hato actually. Very good defending. It was the first time that Juventus really got at us. They're growing into the game. Here's Milik. Onto the right-hand side, Pierre Kalulu. 2 minutes left of the first half. 0-0 the scoreline. And pretty comfortable. Juventus going backwards. That's fine. That was a bit concerning, but Juventus played some good football to carve Chelsea open. Xabi Alonso, again, he's doing the old Rafa Benitez. Organize, stay compact. Here's Boga on the left-hand side. He's up against Kenda. Good defending. Yeah, not just the squad, the coach as well. I mean, the rebuild that Newcastle have to do with the season starting in 2 weeks' time, it's mental, man. PIF also pulling money out of sports investment around the globe. Gutted. Jeez. Never even stood a chance. They were playing Champions League football last season, and now it's completely ripped apart. I was thinking for Newcastle, right? Just see whether or not this Juventus attack blossoms. It doesn't. Well, Newcastle are going to sell Alexander Isak. Oh, Joao Pedro, outstanding. He doesn't have the pace to get there. So they were going to sell Isak to Liverpool. It's just a matter of how much they're going to extract. So they ended up extracting maximum value off him. And Newcastle's succession plan was to get Ekitike. That was an outstanding succession plan in their mind. And Newcastle waited, and Liverpool pulled out a big brother move and ended up getting both. Oh, Sanchez was struggling to get there, but as a strike from distance, Juventus much better in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Milik from distance. Harvey Barnes and Jacob Murphy, their wingers. Johan Wissa has to come good from Newcastle's point of view. Midfield, that's been ripped apart completely. They've lost Elliot Anderson, Sandro Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes in like 2 summers. That is tough to take, man. Elliot Anderson went for 35. Guimaraes went for 75. Tonali went for 90. Now, they have all this money, but how do you replace that kind of quality, man? That midfield, every time you went to St. James's Park, you just like, oh my goodness me, that midfield with Joel Linton, Sandro Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, you knew you were in for a game. And now the likes, who's their youngster who played in midfield on right-hand side? His name just eludes me for some reason. Seems that he's going to have to step up. Yeah. Good luck, Newcastle. I mean, look, they're one of the candidates for relegation, but I think they should be okay. But defense slightly aging. Fabian Schär, Dan Burn still there. Livramento injured, but does Lewis Hall leave? If Lewis Hall leaves, they're in so much trouble as well, man. Already in the hole, and that's just handing them the shovel and say, yep, just keep digging while you're at it. Again, it's going to fetch a lot of money, but their scouting has to be elite. They lost out on Manzambi, who went to Aston Villa, who's one of the players that to watch out for, mind you. If you guys are watching Aston Villa, Yohan Manzambi, I think he's going to move mountains. I might be wrong, but this dude under Unai Emery, I think they'll be fine. Oh, decent pass. Again, Juventus playing some decent football. 4 minutes of added on time signal by the fourth official. Chelsea looking for One last attack there. Foul on Marco Palestra. I want to see what Coventry does as well, Manny. Like, that's going to be interesting. What kind of business they make. Do Chelsea help out Frank Lampard with a few loans, maybe? Players with playing time? Or even some Cobham players. I'm sure. I mean, Frank Lampard absolutely loves Cobham the way that he used them in 2020. But, yeah, Coventry could get a bit of help. Wait and see whether or not Chelsea are offering any. Ooh, risky play there. I think Locatelli trusted his pass on that occasion. Chelsea pressing high again, but Juventus get a bit fortunate. Here's Boga. Goes on the outside of Moises Caicedo. Puts on the afterburners. He's quick there, Boga, but Moy keeps pace with him. Here's Boga. Forced to check his run, go infield. Here's Cambiaso. Exactly, right? Beneficial to both. Why not? Help Frankie as well. Frank's going to need a lot of help. He's done phenomenally well to get Coventry in the Premier League. He came this close with Derby. They lost out to Aston Villa in the playoffs final. And he's done it with Coventry by just ripping the league to shreds. Fair play to Frank, man. He's built his reputation. Some would say, yep, he got the Chelsea and Everton job a little too quickly, but achieved top 4 with Chelsea, got them into Champions League, saved Everton from relegation. So a couple of objectives ticked for him, despite it being viewed as failures in the end, became getting sacked. But Palestra and Joao Pedro playing some lovely football. Here's Joao Pedro finding Palestra again. And if he brings that under control, Palestra might have had a shot on goal. But good football again, and no surprises. It comes from Chelsea's right-hand side. Yeah, make them unofficial Strasbourg indeed. Yeah, why not? Add another sister club. As long as Frank's there. The minute they sack Frank, cut off ties. Decent pass between the lines. Here's Boga. Up against Palestra. Very curious to see the changes that Alonso does make in the second half. Does he go with a completely brand new starting 11? I wouldn't mind. Get to see some other players in action, but it's 0-0 here in Hong Kong. Juventus, first 40 minutes, felt that it was Chelsea were just jabbing away, but Juventus in the last 5 minutes of the first half did ask a lot more pertinent questions of the Chelsea defense. It's 0-0 here in Hong Kong as Chelsea's preseason, the third preseason game, has shown some good signs. But in the end, I felt that we had to trouble De Gregorio at least once, but we have failed to do so. But few positives, a few things that Chelsea could have certainly improved. But it's halftime, it's 0-0. Players are healthy, we'll take it. Yep, Manny, see you for the second half. Hope to see a bit more action. But yeah, I'm expecting at least 3 or 4 changes. Again, Moises Caicedo has to come off in the second half. That's enough of Moy. Send him back to Cobham if needed. He's going to definitely play against AC Milan, but I don't see the need for him to have 60 minutes under the belt. Start with 45 and then work your way from there. But wait and see. Yep, Manny, I'm going to get the scoreboard done for the second half. I'll be back. Need a quick coffee myself. And I'll be back for the second half. I'll get the scoreboard running. Bush League stuff from me. I have no idea why the scoreboard isn't up and running, but I'll have that fixed for the second half. Luckily, there's been no score for the scoreboard. Yep, I'll be back for the second half, guys. Once again, thank you so much. It's a weekday. Still tuning in. Really do appreciate it, guys. See you guys for the second half very shortly. Well, we're a few minutes away from the start of the second half. Hey, welcome to the stream. Ushmio Monfidelis. Look, we just do a watch along here. You won't be able to see any live footage. If you want to see live footage, wherever you are, you need to find a way to access some broadcast for it. In India, I'm using fan code, which is showing I got the Chelsea pass, which I can watch all the Chelsea pre-seasons games as we get ready for the start of the 26-27 season after Chelsea finishing 10th last season. Like I said before, it's a season that I'm very happy to forget, but I don't want some of those players to forget entirely what they put us through in the season. I mean, it was horrific, and the way that it ended, FA Cup final loss as well. We need to start becoming a serious team again. Can't be a yo-yo side. Get a bit of consistency. Maybe, just maybe, Xabi Alonso is that guy for us. It was a huge managerial coup for us to get him, considering his stocks were really high, man. Going to Real Madrid after that extraordinary season with Leverkusen. Yes, things didn't work out for him there, but Real Madrid is a tough job, man. I mean, let alone for a young coach who's trying to make his imprint in the game. Try and manage that dressing room, good luck. And they've gone for someone like Jose Mourinho, who's more of a man manager than a coach now. So it'll be interesting to see how Madrid do perform with him in charge. But Chelsea, showing that they still have a bit of pull, spending a lot of money in the transfer window. We've got Morgan Rogers for 117 million, Maxence Lacroix for 50, Kenda who's come in for well over 40 million, Palestra is 50 million too. Those are just the four top signings that Chelsea have made. A lot of players have come back from loan. Chelsea have made some excellent sales too. Andre Santos being one of the big ones, 48 million quid to Manchester United. Tyreek George leaving. Trevor Chalobah to Como, who will be playing Champions League football under Cesc Fabregas. And that's just a few of the sales that Chelsea have made. So Chelsea trying to balance the books, making some sales, expecting a lot more outs. Garnacho's one to leave. Neto might be leaving for Manchester City. I think we will see Nico Jackson either on loan or being sold to Aston Villa come the end of this summer window. So a lot more ins and out from Chelsea's point of view, maybe, just maybe. So then again, Chelsea do have a bloated squad, so we'll have to trim that down. It's going to be one game a week for a lot of time. No European football, so I'm expecting Chelsea to make a bit of noise in the top half, or at least the top four, top three in the early stages. Then we'll see the cup competitions. Bit of rotation needed. Midfield is going to be a concern for Chelsea in terms of numbers and options. Enzo Fernandez has to come back into the fold, and looks like he's going to be used in a midfield pivot alongside Moises Caicedo. Now look, on paper, it doesn't look that bad, but if you look at the record, whenever Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo play in midfield together as a midfield pivot, Chelsea don't win a lot of games. That's a concern for us. Be it a back three, back four, doesn't matter. If their two are in a pivot, we saw the best of Enzo Fernandez as a number 10. Now, with Cole Palmer fit and Morgan Rogers, it's going to be difficult. I mean, there's easily a scenario I see at Chelsea where we get Cole Palmer on the right, Morgan Rogers on the left, and Enzo Fernandez as our number 10 with Moises Caicedo alongside someone like Romeo Lavia, Dario Sugo, or even Nicole Gizzuli, who's managed to really impress in the 45 minutes here. That could be one option for us, and the likes of Estival, Kenda, Gittins coming off the bench for us to really add some pace and directness. So Chelsea do have options going forward. Joao Pedro and Danny Welbeck will be our two strikers. Looks like Liam Delap will be happy to hang around as third choice, with Nico Jackson possibly. He's coming on by the looks of it. Love to see Nico Jackson and Joao Pedro together. 45 minutes. We're not going to see another 45 minutes of Joao Pedro, but another 15 minutes of Joao and Nico Jackson. That'll be something to look forward to in the second half. It'll be interesting to see how many changes are being made by both coaches, Xabi Alonso and Luciano Spalletti, at their new clubs, trying to make the imprint and possibly bring home some silverware. Chelsea players slowly making their way back. Chelsea have another assignment in Hong Kong, which is AC Milan. Ruben Amorim's side. It'll be interesting to see how they line up and what kind of tactics Amorim has been cooking. If Chelsea want to use their academy players, Plenty on offer. We got a 21 player bench available for Xabi Alonso. McQueen is there, who looked bright against Western Sydney. Well, Chelsea are making a couple of changes. Estevan Willian and Mamadou Sarr is coming on. Looks like Tosin is off. It'll be Wesley Fofana and Mamadou Sarr as our defenders. And Estevan Willian might have replaced Giovanni Kenda. And as it is for Chelsea, so fair play. Xabi Alonso making a couple of quick changes, and I'm sure to see a lot more in that second half. Well, 0-0, Chelsea can be largely happy, but certain improvements need to be made in the second 45 minutes. Don't want to have back-to-back losses heading into that Milan game. Yeah, there you go, Manny. Very helpful of you. You can watch it on DAZN for free. Saw Pedro Neto. Looks like a guy who's chilling, knowing he's bouncing. Yeah, we can just send him straight to wherever Manchester City are playing their pre-season. They're playing against the Korean All-Stars or something like that. Esteval nearly flicks it through. Yep, they're seeing Nico Jackson and Joao Pedro. I am seated, Manny. I am ready. Let's see some pure hoops. I want to see some football now. Danny Welbeck gave us 45 decent minutes. Nico Jackson possibly on his way to Aston Villa, having a few minutes to impress Xabi Alonso here. Juventus made 3 changes themselves. This is a decent carry on the left-hand side. Well intercepted by Moises Caicedo. That's a clear foul on Moy. And I was hoping that Moises Caicedo was not going to come on in the second half, but lo and behold, he's there. Augusto Owusu coming on for Juventus. So has Jonathan David. Chano Spalletti shuffling his pack. Chelsea's line can be pushed up a lot more now that we've got Mamadou Sarr instead of Tosin Adebayo. Jazuli continues to be that number 8 for us, with Moy holding. Here's Sarr. Fofana. Estevan Willian. In Chelsea's right-hand side in the first half, really making some moves. Giovanni Kenda and Marco Palestra. Palestra's got a new winger in front of him in Estevan Willian. I am so glad to see Estevan on the pitch, man. I was fearing the worst. I was expecting him to be missing throughout the season. Sanchez is off too for us. So is Tosin. I think Penders is in goal. I think they're doing the substitutions piecemeal here. Yeah, Bremer is on as well for Juventus, and Mike Penders in goal. First time you're seeing the Belgian for us. But when Thibaut Courtois suffered that injury against, who did they end up losing to last minute, with Sene Lomans making a clanger? I thought it was going to be Penders who was going to be replacing Courtois, but it ended up being Lomans. That's a foul on Joao Pedro, surely. Yep, Penders, Sarr, Esteval, the 3 players that I've seen. Nico Jackson for Danny Welbeck as well for Chelsea. Yep, those are all the changes, Manny. All updated. Joao Pedro finds Nico Jackson. Decent carry. What a run this is by Nico Jackson. Finds Palestra. Oh, weak effort. Oh, Chelsea moving the ball smooth there. Marco Palestra finding himself in a centre forward position. The Italian right back Just running and gunning it. Brilliant from Nico Jackson. Clever pass by Joao Pedro to open it up there. Nicely done. Chelsea playing some decent football. Here's Douglas Luiz. Shifts it onto the right-hand side. With Bremer now. I think he's come on for Lloyd Kelly. That's a decent switch out onto the left-hand side. Jonathan David trying to engage. Owusu finds Douglas Luiz. Juventus moving it nicely though on the right-hand side. Chelsea's shape got plenty behind. Trying to play the quick 1-2, forcing them backwards. Look at Palestra for FPL. Do what you gotta do, Manny. I tried to tell you, but you're not going to listen, so I've given up. No Chelsea players, please. Palestra on the right-hand side. Looks like he's going to be the one that starts for us. Gusto and Reece James will join us much later on, both of them having deep runs in the World Cup. Good challenge by Moy, that was clean. Douglas Luiz floats it in. Good defending by Jarell Hato. Too expensive, 5.5. You want quality, you got to pay for it. You want goal and assist, especially with a defender. It'll come at a premium. I don't really mind this from Chelsea. Just keep the ball. Force Juventus around. Jazuli plays a nice touch around the corner for Moises Caicedo. Caicedo with an expansive pass forward. Palestra's through on goal here. It's Palestra. It's straight at him. Oh, Perrin rather. Beautiful football. Look at Palestra on that right-hand side, man. Woo! He is explosive. Again, he does the right thing. Hit it first time. Moises Caicedo, what a pass. Perrin is rooted at his spot. Takes it on his left foot. Just shows you that even though he's ambipedal, he prefers it on his left foot because it probably looked like it was in the angle for his right. It's straight at Perrin, though. There's no pass on offer there, man. He's always going to have to shoot. He's right in front of goal. Just try to keep it on target. Again, takes it with his left foot. Very interesting. Juventus give the ball away in midfield. Here's Estevao. Nico Jackson stretching the defense. Opens it up nicely. Now it's Estevao on the right-hand side making moves. Here's the Brazilian. Goes on the outside. Stops. Starts again. Estevao. Corner for Chelsea. Brilliant. All over Juventus now. It was good goalkeeping though by Perrin because the shot was... Jamie Gittins was making the run to try and tap it in from close range, but Chelsea in the second half have started the better team. Estevao cooking the right-hand side, Manny. Chelsea's right. Palestra, Kenda. Palestra, Estevao. Let's look bright. Okay, we saw Kenda's corners were terrible in the first half. It's a low bar to clear Estevao. Doesn't beat the first man, but it's slightly better as we get another corner. Just beat the first man, please. Bare minimum. You're trying to go for whip, but get a bit of elevation. Give the centre halves a chance to head it. Estevao willing to take this one. Oh, it's poor again. Chelsea try to keep it alive. Okay, Chelsea need set piece coaching, yeah. Training ground. The only way to solve it, man. Even last season, our corners, Reece James and Enzo Fernandez, trash in the corner department. Looks like nothing's changed. Oh, somebody's down. Estevao quickly gets back onto his feet. Here's Sarr. Shows decent press resistance. Moises Caicedo there to sweep up. We talked about how Mike Penders likes to join in the midfield, or the defense rather, in the build-up. Jazuli with a line breaker. Clever touch around the corner. Nico Jackson making the right run. Perrin being put under pressure. Gittins pressing as well, but Juventus play out nicely. Very nicely. Chelsea nicely win the ball back. Decent stuff. Good work. Sarr with aggressive defending, taking a page out of the Wesley Fofana defending book. He likes to go touch tight with the attacker. Here's Jazuli. Moises Caicedo. Again, expecting Moy to be hauled off in about 6.5 minutes. It cannot be more than 60 minutes for sure. Hato being put under pressure. He's lost out there. Juventus trying to pounce on the mistake. And Hato does really well. And a throw in for Chelsea. Good job, Hato. Again, he's a player that made a huge leap in terms of development over the season. Got very little game time under Enzo Maresca. Once Liam Rossini was in charge, we saw him playing at left back a lot more. We saw his growth. Nico Jackson, right idea, trying to find Joao Pedro. Pierre Kalulu steps in. There's Lloyd Kelly. Into the 10-minute mark in the second half. Moises Caicedo with yet another interception. Estevao finds Moy. Defensively, Chelsea have been decent. Last 5 minutes of the first half slightly concerning, but did manage to come out unscathed. Hato. Jazuli. Jazuli's just been striding forward, very comfortable. Again, sweeping up. Palestra with a touch around the corner. Jackson trying to hold it up. Palestra asking a lot out of the Senegalese striker. Uchu finds Bremer. Brazilian fires it onto the right-hand side. Miscontrol. Throw in for Chelsea. Again, next set of changes. Expecting either one of Esugo or Lavia to come on for Moises Caicedo. Liam Delap possibly comes on for Joao Pedro. Oh, that's a nasty foul on Joao. Uchu just goes flying into the Brazilian. Again, who else comes on for Chelsea? Left wing options. We got Gittins. Neto might come on. Might get a few minutes. Take some of Gittins on that left-hand side. Always said that Pedro Neto on the left for Chelsea, a lot more useful than on the right. Here's Sarr. Finds Jarrell Hato. Cole Jazuli. Back to Sarr. And Sarr was another player that really suffered from Chelsea pulling him out of Strasbourg. Started the game against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Chelsea ended up losing that one. But his development was super stunted, man. I don't think he started for Senegal. I think he might have towards the end of the tournament. Here's Joao Pedro. Jazuli. Sarr pushes it forward for Jamie Gittins. Come on, take him on. Gittins had a very passive game. Jazuli trying to make things happen. Chelsea trying to break down the low block. Moises Caicedo. Wesley Fofana. Sweeping it onto the right-hand side to Marco Palestra. Estevao making the run. Ignored. Back to Wes. Now to Estevao Willian. Trying to commit defenders. Chelsea playing the patient game. Sarr's pass was comfortably intercepted, and now it's Juventus, who have been very compact and organized in their defensive structure. On the right-hand side on the break, again, Chelsea have enough bodies back. One thing that even when Chelsea have lost the ball, we always looked secure in terms of numbers defensively. Here's Douglas Luiz. Lloyd Kelly. And I'm yet to get an answer, guys. Tell me a more stranger transfer you've seen in the last 5 years. Lloyd Kelly from Newcastle's bench to starting for Juventus. That's going to be my first question. The longer I see, I'm not sure when's the next time I'm going to see Lloyd Kelly in action. Probably. I don't think they're playing in the Champions League, are they? It's a good switch out onto the right-hand side. Decent work to get away from Hato. Hato shows decent recovery. Jazuli with yet another interception. How many defensive contributions has he made? Nico Jackson, that is outrageous. That's a foul, ref. That's a yellow card. Come on. That is so cynical. Jackson does so well, man. Such a needless foul. It's preseason friendly. Fuck's sake, man. Goes right through his shin. Is that Ovuchu or was that Douglas Luiz? Brilliant from Nico Jackson. He just leaves a couple of players. That is Douglas Luiz. It is so cynical, man. Terrible challenge. Annie Jackson is looking good. Again, some of the stuff that he does between both boxes is just, it's next level, man. I'll defend him to the hill on that department. Outrageous player. His link up, I mean, the number of goals him and Palmer have combined is ridiculous. Again, since Chelsea are not playing too many games, if we loan him to Aston Villa, they're playing Champions League football. He plays again under Unai Emery again. His development goes up another level. And the next season when Chelsea are back in the Champions League, Nico Jackson and Joao Pedro are our two strikers. That has to be the long-term vision. I'm convinced, man. Chelsea don't need to splash more money in the striking department, in that department. I mean, surely not. When you look at the striker market, we're not doing better than Nico Jackson as second choice striker. Maybe not this season where Chelsea don't have so much game time. But if Chelsea got League and Champions League to play and compete and really fight and compete, that has to be the long-term vision. And I'm convinced. Jazuli finds Jackson. Oh, heavy touch. There's a chance there. Jazuli with yet another recovery in midfield. Manny, pull out his stats. Come on. Got to give some Nicole Jazuli prop here on the stream. Cobham boy, excellent. He's given us a proper hour. Again, no notes. Everything has been good. Even this challenge, he puts pressure, but Juventus break through it. Decent carry forward onto the right-hand side. Our mark here in Hong Kong. Joao Pedro. As much of a baller Joao Pedro is, I don't quite like him in the number 10 position. I think long-term vision for Chelsea was Joao Pedro is almost Cole Palmer's backup number 10. But after his performance, oh, decent work there by Mike Penders. It's decisive and he gets it away. Palestra now finds Esteval. Chelsea on the counter-attack. Esteval, brilliant carry, release. Oh, superb ball work. Brilliant pass to Palestra. Oh, Chelsea's right-hand side, saucing. Here's Marco Palestra. Ah, poor pass in the end, but it's a corner for Chelsea. Oh, he had no right there. Esteval willing to keep the ball the way that he did and then find the pass to Marco Palestra. Wonderful stuff. Corner for Chelsea. We passed the 60-minute mark. Check FootMob, Manny. I'm sure you're going to get preseason stats there. Or leave it. I'll do it, Manny. Thanks a lot. No, I'll just copy it in a bit. So corner for Chelsea. I use FootMob to see. I don't really see a lot of stats, but you get a lot from it. Better corner from Esteval. Finally clears the first man. That's a foul by Moises Caicedo. He's going to pick up a yellow card. Okay, Jazuli, to be very fair, has been top. Absolutely top. Manny, go to FootMob. Go to the lineups section. You'll see all the players with their individual ratings. Click on the player. It's like explaining to my grandpa. Douglas Luiz's evening has come to an end. Yildiz is coming on, so is Koopmeiners. Juventus's forward line now beefed up. Koopmeiners, excellent forward. Of course, Keenan Yildiz will be playing on that left-hand side. Exactly, 96% pass accuracy, I think on 5 defensive contributions. Ground duels, 50%. Aerial duels, I don't think he won any. Chelsea are making a triple substitution here. Dario Sugo, Aaron Anselmino. And one of our academy boys is coming on here. Let me just have a look. I think Subuloya is coming on. Centre back possibly for Wesley Fofana. Juventus have made their changes. Chelsea are going to make 6, 7 of them. Satpaev is coming on. So is Achimpong. Liam Delap. Just going to go through all the changes very quickly. But It's going to be exciting to see some of these players. Dastan Satpayev. Oh, what a player, man. What a player Chelsea have scouted. Again, Chelsea cannot mess his loan up. Oh, he's pinched the ball here. Fofana, very lazy pass. Could be his last contribution here. Moises Caicedo, excellent, but it breaks kindly. Oh, flashed across the face of goal. Nobody attacking. The fast stick. Could have been 1-0 to Juventus, but the offside flag coming to Chelsea's rescue. Not 5, 7 subs coming on for Chelsea. I'm going to go through it very quickly, but Wesley Fofana, very casual, but I think he knows that his evening's done here. Josh Achimpong might be coming on. Anselmino is going to be left back for Jarell Hato. Josh Achimpong probably right back for Palestra. Not sure whether or not Chelsea I think we're bringing on Subuloye as well, so I think it's going to be Achimpong's sacrifice to play right back. Gittins might be coming off. That should be a foul, needless by Gittins. Free kick for Juventus. Yeah, Moy needs to come off. And we are seeing Lavia coming on, so that's a change that has to happen. Gittins is coming off for Dastan Satpayev. Chelsea bringing on the cavalry. A young cavalry too. Dario Sugo and Romeo Lavia in midfield. Delap leading the line. Achimpong, Satpayev on the left-hand side. Aaron Anselmino left back. Joao Pedro's off. Good shift for Joao. No goal for him. Got a hat-trick against Western Sydney Wanderers. It was a 9-minute hat-trick. Electric 20-minute cameo from him. A decent workout for the boys. No injuries. Nicole Giuzzoli, man of the match performance from Chelsea's point of view. Palestra, huge tick from him as well. He looked excellent on the right-hand side in the first half with Kenda and in the second half with Estevao Willian. Moy is off. I can breathe now. And he gives the captain's armband to Dario Isugo. Big moment this. Chelsea a very, very young side now. Whether or not that captain's armband might be given to somebody else. Moises Caicedo off. Dario Isugo on with the captain's armband with 25 minutes to go. Whole host of changes made. Free kick for Juventus. It's a decent ball in. It's a brilliant header that is just wide. Oh, Chelsea catch life. Bremer completely unmarked. If he directs that on goal, it's 1-0. Mike Penders is a huge presence in goal, but was he offside? Yeah, he was. Chelsea would have survived, but can't let the Juve skipper have a free run and a free header there. Oh, brilliant by Romeo Lavia. Sneaks it through. But I don't like this now. Nico Jackson is the number 10. And Liam Delap is a centre forward. I mean, it's understandable because Liam Delap in a number 10. We are playing with 10. Even as a centre forward. Not much use. Again, even in pre-season, man, no goals from him. You're not going to get it in the season. Not even in pre-season. Anselmino is aggressive. Yep, Subloye is playing, but let's see whether or not he's centre-back and Josh Achimpong is right-back. Decent cutback. Oh, what a shot. Oh, my goodness me. Top bins. It is a special goal. Juventus opened the scoring. Magnificent finish, man. He curls it past Mike Penders. Chelsea concede again in pre-season. It is a world-class finish. Eden Zegrova, take a bow, man. It's well kept. First time effort. Perfect. Woo! That is a stunner, man. There's nothing you can do about it. Could Chelsea have closed him down better here? Yeah, nobody's next to him. He takes it first time. It's a special goal. There's not much Penders could do about that. No clean sheet again for Chelsea. That's 2 conceded against Spurs. Conceded 4 against Western Sydney, mind you, but I'm going to brush that under the carpet, and we concede here again. A man named Eden scoring a banger against us. Something poetic about it. Zegrova's goal. He needed something special, break open the Chelsea defense, and it arrives. Right, Liam Delap, Nico Jackson. Arise, step up. Chelsea need a goal. Well, as it stands, about 20 minutes away from Chelsea suffering back-to-back losses in pre-season. Again, in terms of movement in the summer, are Chelsea going to make that midfield move now? There's been a talk about Alex Scott rather than Adam Wharton. That's going to be a significant outlay from Chelsea if they go for either one of them. Also, kind of depends on Enzo Fernandez leaving. I don't think that's going to happen, especially season 2 weeks out. Real Madrid are going to be signing a midfielder. By all accounts, it's going to be Rodri. Maybe, just maybe, he ends up at Manchester City, but again, I don't see that happening. City have already spunked a lot of money. Might be going for Ayub Bouadi from Lille. I mean, that might be a €100 million move, and then they send him back on loan. Nico Gonzalez steps in midfield as a stopgap. Alongside Elliot Anderson, spent big already in that department, so you never know, but again, a lot of permutations and combinations as hydration break taken soon after Zegova's cracking goal, man. Absolutely top finish. Satpaev fouled on the first occasion. If he does end up playing in the Premier League, even a few minutes, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the first time a Kazakh player will be representing in the Premier League. I mean, Kusunov from Uzbekistan, Satpaev from Kazakhstan, fair play to them. Can you imagine how difficult their journeys would have been, man? And for them to play top level, not just top level football, the freaking Premier League as a Kusunov, I mean, what a player he is. I never root for Manchester City, but for Kusunov and some of the players like that, you just like, go on, man, fulfill your potential. Whatever comes your way, you deserve it. Got to champion these kind of players who come from the less fortunate regions. Xabi Alonso will be slightly concerned that we have not really threatened Perrin in goal. Palestro's had the only real shot, was straight at him. Here's Anselmino, finds Satpaev. Satpaev, of course, scored our first goal in pre-season against Western Sydney. It was a typical centre-forward goal after excellent work by Ryan McQueen. Brilliant pass by Lavia. At least the idea was good. Esteval couldn't control that. Chelsea at least need an equaliser. Liam Delap tries to put a foot in. They breeze through a couple of challenges with ease. On the left-hand side here, UAE looking to double their lead here. Lloyd Kelly. Kagua Bushnab? That's a very tricky username, bro. You've given me some work with that. Eden Zegrova scored just before the hydration break. It was an absolute cracker. They worked it well. The first time effort, left-footed, curling finish. Top bins as well to beat Mike Penders in goal. Brilliant. Can't hate, can't knock it. Chelsea having made 7 changes before that. Now having to find a way back. Got Satpaev, Liam Delap, Nico Jackson, Esteval. The 4 attackers on the pitch. Nicole Jazuli and Moises Caicedo off, with Lavia and Dario Sugo now in midfield. Juventus work it very well again. They've looked proper, solid in midfield. Defensively, they've limited Chelsea to very little. That should be a foul on Isugo. Again, when Dario Sugo got handed the captain's armband, right, that was a huge, that's a telling sign, because Dario Sugo is a kid himself. Played very little football for Chelsea last season after his thigh surgery. Even if it's pre-season, for him to get the captain's armband just shows you what a young team Chelsea have here. Here's Perrin. Again, Perrin just felt like the guy who's going to succeed Gigi Buffon. He's been at Juve for a long time, but he's not been able to cement that number 1 position. Outrageous first touch. Zegrovia is just balling out, man. Decent looking pass. It's well intercepted by Subulayo. Here's Achimpong. Fires the pass towards Esteval Willian. Come on, need an equalizer. Onto the right-hand side. Dastan Satpayev from left wing is now on the right-hand side. Does manage to keep it in. Unfortunately, cedes possession. Nicely played pass forward. Again, pressure applied. Nicely done by Aaron Anselmino, Argentine left back. Again, he was at Dortmund last season. Chelsea got them on loan there. Very good 6 months. Dortmund were trying to purchase him. Chelsea got him the hell out of there. Ended up at Strasbourg. Had a bit of a tricky end to the season under Gary O'Neill. Rugani, Arthur Melo, and Durmisi are coming. Arthur Melo, wow. In 2026, he's still there. Woo. Nice. He had a bit of a tour, then he went to Barcelona, then Liverpool, where he played no football whatsoever. Back home at Juve. It was that Miralem Pjanic and Arthur swap, right, for 70 million euros. That's the first time I saw accounting fraudulence in the transfer market. I'm sure it's been happening a lot earlier, but that was the first time I saw it in broad daylight. Oh, 70 million switch? Yeah, sure. Just a player swap. Here's Liam Delap carrying it, but running out of options. And Chelsea's attacking players just flatter to deceive. Ben Jacobs tweeted, Chelsea not interested in Diogo Costa. Yeah, that was never happening anyways. There's always going to be Sanchez and Mike Penders as our 1 and 2 with Philip Jorgensen out of there. I think he's going to Strasbourg, but Chelsea need to get him out of the program. When he gave the ball away, I mean, it's not his fault that Liam Rossini picked him at the Parc des Princes when Chelsea were playing Paris Saint-Germain. We were 2-2. We were 2-0 down, 2-2. We were looking really good. He gives the ball away and then Chelsea capitulate. Unforgivable. There's Esteval trying to go on the outside. Well, Shepherd. Juventus very good defensively, man. They have shut us down completely. Saw Chelsea against the 10 men of Spurs in the second half struggle to create. Feels like a common theme now. Had Cole Palmer for about 60 minutes in that game. Maybe even 75. But this time we've seen nothing of Cole. And looks like Chelsea will be drawing a blank. Still plenty of time. Just under 15 minutes remaining here in Hong Kong. Looks like the Hong Kong Juve fans will go home happy. The Chelsea fans scratching their chins, hoping that this pre-season form doesn't continue. Satpayev gets robbed in midfield. Arthur Melo with a crunching challenge. Segovia. He's looked awesome, man. I think he should be pushing for a start at right wing. Him and Keenan Yildiz. Great options to have. Looking for the switch here to Zegrova. Good defending by Hernan Salmino. Chelsea being pushed back here. Juventus relentless in their pressure applied. Zegrova for Juventus has been top in terms of the attack. Here's Coop Miners. Forced to go backwards to Rugani. Here's Bremer. Lloyd Kelly. Back three of Juventus. Moving in tandem. Good line breaker there by Lloyd Kelly. Lavia intercepts. Esugo's pass is terrible. That is not the pass, Esugo. It's got to be grounded. It's got to be at the feet of Nico Jackson. Don't give him difficult balls to control. Jackson and Delap running a two-man here. Esugo trying to pinch the ball. Not successful. Juve play through the press again nicely. Good technical security here from the Italian side. Switched on to the right-hand side. In surveying options. Xabi Alonso. I don't think he's going to be making any more changes. This is going to be the team that ends the game. Josh Hachimpong comes across and makes a decent defensive interception. Here's Lavia. Hachimpong. And once again, guys, I'd really like to thank everybody tuning in. We're seeing some huge numbers here. It's almost have to scratch my eyeballs. It's phenomenal support. Thank you so much. I mean, get involved with the channel. Do the like, share, subscribe thing as well. Don't really like saying it, but sometimes I gotta have to promote. But thank you all. Just tuning in, being here means the world to me, man. Preseason's coming to an end. Season's starting. Can't wait. It's going to be a 2-week lull. I'm going to try and keep the energy going in preseason. We've got AC Milan next. I think we're ending preseason with a game against Real Sociedad. I think that's going to be at the Bridge. Alonso playing against his former team. He made his name. Went from Sociedad to Liverpool. Then to that massive move to Real Madrid. Then Bayern Munich. What a career he's had, man. He's won everything. He's played under all the top managers. He's managed Leverkusen, Real Madrid, and Chelsea now. That is an outrageous CV to have at his young age, man. Oh, that's a foul. Surely on Yasugo. Referee waves play on. That's a foul on Jackson. He's going to give the Yasugo foul. Free kick for Chelsea. Yeah, Manny, I did try promoting it. Again, not a very good job. Might need to do a little bit of preparation in terms of promotion. Slow and steady. I like what I'm building with this channel, man. It's so much more fun. I can't watch games normally anymore, mind you. I mean, I can't just sit back and just watch a game. If there's a game on, might as well stream it, even if it's not Chelsea. I'm going to be doing so many watch-alongs in the season, man. Even though Chelsea are not in the Champions League, if you think I'm not going to be staying up at tough, odd, horrible hours to watch as a neutral, you're mistaken. If you're there during the World Cup, you would have seen the wild timings that we were streaming here. That was a terrible challenge by Bremer. Thankfully, he doesn't catch a Sugo. 500 target, 500 subs. That's a bit of a leap before the season. During the season, that would be a nice little check mark for me personally. It does give me a lot of joy doing these streams. The numbers are just a bonus, really. Bremer gets a yellow card. Juve skipper for that high boot on Nico Jackson. Okay, Chelsea need to trouble Perrin once at least. If we lose, we lose. Fine. But draw a couple of saves at least before full time. Can't be drawing a blank in that department. Estevao is dead center. Oh, how about this? Arise! Mikhailo Mudryk. He is back in the fray. Fair play, man, Misha. You can see the Chelsea bench all applauding. What he has gone through over the past 12 to 18 months would have been just rough. Really, really rough. He thought he's not going to be playing football for the next 4 years. He's back. Misha was caught doping. Estevao's free kick is on target and he does draw a save of Perrin. Tick mark. We're going to check that as a positive. It was a decent free kick. What a ball that is by Perrin. He finds Zagrova with an immaculate first touch. Zagrova has got my attention, man. This guy I need to keep an eye on. What a baller. He's from Kosovo. We're talking about players from obscure nations. Add him to the list. He looks like a proper player, man. Liam Delap does well. Satpayev, left foot. It's another shot on target. Chelsea have 2 and 2. No, they took off Nico Jackson for Mikhailo Mudryk. So it looks like Dastan Satpayev will be in the number 10 position or more central. And Mikhailo Mudryk on the left-hand side. Well, Misha had number 10 on his back, didn't he? He had number 10, yeah? It was pretty wild for Chelsea spending 62 million plus all those bonuses that were attached to take that fee to 83. Sky Sports love to use that as a graphic, 89 million. Trust me, Misha has not achieved any of those objectives. So the fee is just in excess of 60 million. But yeah, no longer the number 10. That's Cole Palmer's now. He's going to have to find a home with a new number. And hopefully, I mean, a loan for Misha would be a bad move because he is nowhere near the finished article. Look, he's got ridiculous ability. If you watch his compilation, you're like, what the hell is this guy? Because if he explodes, Chelsea's left wing it's frightening. The potential is limitless, but again, the football IQ, the way he's been brought up. I mean, he played hardly any game, 50 professional games at best before joining Chelsea. That's too much of a leap, man. And Chelsea paid big money for him. Again, you look at some of his tapes, some of the goals that he has scored, excellent. You saw that goal against Brighton in pre-season, right? For the first time, and Pochettino was the manager. Nico Jackson and Mikhailo Mudryk combining for an outrageous goal. I had so much hopes after that one. I mean, Nico Jackson, to some extent, fulfilled that potential. Mudryk, not so much. Maybe the second act of his ends up being something special for us. Again, it's hope rather than expectation. Here's Esteval. There's a lot of expectations on him. Finds Mudryk. Oh, just slightly overhits the pass. Mudryk is rapid. It's great to see him on the pitch, man. I'm not going to lie. Again, he's been very frustrating every time he's been on the pitch for Chelsea, but considering what he's gone through, fair play. First Ukrainian for Chelsea. No, second, Shevchenko. How can I forget? The main man. Andrei Shevchenko, 2006, 30 million quid from AC Milan. I thought we were going to win everything when we signed him. Fortunately, couldn't displace Didier Drogba. I think the introduction of Andrei Shevchenko to Chelsea's squad back then, Didier Drogba decided, oh, okay, I'm just going to end up being the best sole striker in the world. I mean, Didier Drogba changed the culture, man. Everybody in world football played two up front. Drogba comes in and changes it. Then we saw 4-3-3. And then the requirement came, can you play back to goal? Again, if you guys have 5 or 10 minutes of time, watch Didier Drogba's hold-up play. Some of his tapes on that. Grew up watching that. That's why when I watch the likes of Liam Delap, it just makes my... I'm like, how can you share the same badge as Didi, man? When I look at Joao Pedro, I'm like, okay, you can join the club. You are fantastic. Look at Liam Delap. What is the need for that challenge, man? I mean, fair, Juventus have put in a couple of bad ones themselves. He's getting nowhere near the ball. Just every game. No shots, but plenty of those challenges. Would love a goal and pens. Doesn't look like the goal's coming. Chelsea have been pretty lackluster since going down to that Segovia goal. Did make 7 changes, so Chelsea's team chemistry did take a bit of a beating. Mudryk coming on. There's Mamadou Sarr. Subuloy. Okay, Subuloy and Nicole Jazuli are the two under-21s that Xabi Alonso has retained. Just shows you that he does rate them. Likes of Reggie Walsh, Reggie Watson. We saw them in the first game against Western Sydney. Both of them impressed. Reggie Watson, son of Ben Watson, who scored the winner against Manchester City in the FA Cup final when Roberto Martinez was the manager of Wigan. Was that 2013? Pellegrini, or was that Mancini? I think it was Mancini, the manager of Man City at the time. And now Reggie Watson, 16 years of age, in and around the Chelsea first team. Got Rory Delap's son and Ben Watson's son at Chelsea. Pretty wild. The more you see of Delap, the more you feel like he deserves to come off the bench at Coventry or Hull. I mean, you don't need to see any more, Manny, to be honest. All the evidence I needed, I saw last season. Nothing's going to change my mind. Just absolutely nothing. We have Shim Mueka, mind you, who scored 25 goals in PL2 for us when Chelsea won that. The fact that he doesn't get a minute over Liam Delap just shows you that I hope Xabi Alonso is the guy to almost give Cobham the preference over these ex-Manchester City academy players like Liam Delap, man. I know Joe Shields has got that connection with Manchester City, right? Lavia, Tosin, Cole Palmer, Liam Delap, Morgan Rogers. That's 5 players from the Manchester City academy, right? That's more than a pattern. That's a clear indication that he's not even scouting anymore, right? He's just players that he's worked with in the past or had a look at close range in the academy setup. That is not good enough. And when I see Liam Delap replacing Nico Jackson as our striker, I mean, thank fuck. Yeah, Joao Pedro banged in his first season because we would have been dead. I mean, we finished 10th, mind you, with him scoring 15 goals. But can you imagine Liam Delap being our starting centre forward? Oh my goodness me. I popped a blood vessel. Joe Shields FC indeed, Manny. Got to cleanse ourselves, but it is what it is. Tosin might be the first one out. Delap the second. Can we get Jadon Sancho as well? Yeah. Put him on the list of ex-Manchester City Academy players. Sancho doesn't have a club at the moment, mind you. His drop-off is pretty wild. It's a cautionary tale, man. Delap tries to squeeze past a couple of challenges. Oh, physicality utilized and tries to slip in. Mudryk, who is quick, and he does manage to get the ball across. Decent play by Misha. Dastan Satpayev attacking the front post, trying to just flick that in. With Mudryk, right? Every time on Instagram, you just see him lifting weights, and I'm like, less weights, more football, bro. Like, see, Eden Hazard famously said that it's football, it's not foot gym, because Eden Hazard spent no time in the gym. And he's my benchmark. Esteval Willian, brilliant. Oh, he should have passed. He had plenty of options. Great feed there by him. Satpayev with a ridiculous first touch, but I'm sure Misha's offside. Referee's weighing play on. 4 minutes of stoppage time signaled by the fourth official. Are Chelsea going to draw a blank here and back-to-back defeats in pre-season? We got AC Milan next. Again, the defeats don't really concern me, but Chelsea's lack of attacking impetus does worry me a bit. Here's Esteval trying to do everything by his lonesome. He's ultimately shut down by his countryman Bremer. Here's Ogova with the ball in. He tries the right thing. Slightly overhits that. Amadou Sarr. Come on, show a bit of intensity. Juventus will feel that this has been a very good game for them. Here's Achimpong. Slightly overhit pass there to Dastan Satpayev. I think Chelsea's resistance is running out of steam now. Again, I'll take all the pre-season losses. I'll take each and every one of them. As long as Fulham, match week 1, we take 3 points. That's the trade-off I'm willing to make. Here's Mudryk. Asugo. Chelsea's midfield. Just feel like Lavia and Asugo, they need Moy or Enzo next to them. These two together doesn't fill me with too much confidence. They're able deputies, but to be solid in midfield, to start games week in, week out, questionable. Juve could add a second here. Good work there by Subuloyo. Just shepherds him slightly wide there. Kenan Yildiz trying to add the second and the sealer of the game. Turkey left winger showing good directness. Subuloyo keeping pace. Does look a lot like Bashir Humphreys if you've seen Bashir for Chelsea. I think he's at Burnley now. Remember he had come for Chelsea's pre-season a couple seasons back. Did look decent. First corner for Juventus. Halfway through stoppage time. Yildiz's ball in. Penders with a comfortable grab. But both of Chelsea's keepers now. Rob Sanchez is 6'6". Penders is 6'7", I think. So the cross-claiming, the aerial ability of both keepers should be at a very high level. Shot stopping, ball playing, all need to come together from Chelsea's goalkeeping point of view, man. Either one of them, again, don't really care. Just one of you decide to be serious and solid. That's all I'm asking. Yes, Subuloye. Venturing forward the centre half. Lavia. Come on, one last opportunity. Make moves. Come on, look forward. Asugo. Finds Anselmino. Mudryk. Decent pass to Esteval Willian. Esteval and Mudryk combining. Probably saw that in a dream once. Well, final minute and possibly Chelsea's final attack. It's been a disappointing game in terms of the result and the performance. I'm not going to dissect it too much because it's only pre-season, but think the ability to break down low blocks, slightly concerning. And we want to see Joao Pedro, Cole Palmer, Estevan Willian all play together, get meaningful minutes to form that attacking combination, because those three, and of course Morgan Rogers at some point, that's when Chelsea's attack will start to get a bit more serious. So I'm not really going to pull this performance apart. It's almost like our bench players and Joao Pedro trying to make an impact. The good thing with Joao Pedro is summer off. He'll be hungry. He'll be intent to making an impression. Being dropped from the Brazil World Cup squad as Romeo Lavia shoots from distance, and that just might be Chelsea's last attack. Referee has had a look at the watch. It looks like Chelsea's pre-season in Sydney, which ended in defeat, will end in defeat here in the Hong Kong leg, as a magnificent Zagova finish. First time top bin strike into the top corner means that Luciano Spalletti's men pick up the victory here in Hong Kong. It's back-to-back defeats for Chelsea in pre-season. 10 men Spurs and 11 men Juve getting the job done. Back to the drawing board for Chelsea. Valuable minutes in the legs and in the tank for some of the boys. Good to see Moises Caicedo back in, logging valuable minutes. 60-minute workout for Moy. Palestra looked good on the right-hand side. Esteval getting 30 minutes. Great to see Mikhailo Mudryk for the first time in ages on that left-hand side. Joao Pedro not having the impact going forward. Liam Delap, as expected, nothing from him. Nico Jackson had a couple of decent moments, but Chelsea couldn't really sustain attacks going forward. Zagrova's goal, the difference between the two sides, as Juventus beat Chelsea 1-0. Yeah, Manny, it's been great. Well, although Chelsea lost, that right there is the only consolation prize. It's been great, man. The support is absolutely wild. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Pre-season's coming to an end. Chelsea have another game against AC Milan. We'll definitely be live for that. It's going to be cut to cut because I got work on the same day. That's going to be really hard. Hopefully Chelsea turn up going forward. But great for the Hong Kong fans turning up in numbers, selling out their stadium. As the Juve and Chelsea fans, I don't think they got their money's worth in terms of the scoreline and the entertaining football. It was a cagey affair, a bit of a chess match. But Zagrova's goal, the Kosovo winger, who really did light it up since coming on, is the match winner. Well, there you have it, guys. This is me, Surat, signing off after yet another successful watch-along, even though Chelsea lost. Thankfully, no injuries. Hopefully, we see Cole Palmer and Levi Colville being integrated, or they go straight back to Cobham and we don't see them in Hong Kong. Either way, Chelsea managed to navigate another pre-season game without any pre-season injuries. There's been massive numbers, guys. All the live viewers tuning in for this pre-season game. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you guys for Chelsea versus AC Milan.